The crowd is already moving. Not walking. Surging. Nicolae Ceaușescu steps to the microphone. He's done this 1,000 times. The same balcony. The same script. The first boos are scattered. Almost tentative, as if the crowd itself isn't sure it's allowed to make that sound. Then they grow. Layer upon layer. His face doesn't change. He raises his hand, the gesture that has commanded silence for 24 years. The silence doesn't come. For the first time in nearly a quarter century, the crowd isn't listening. He'll be dead within hours. He doesn't know that yet. To understand how we got here, we need to go back 3 days. Back to when he still believed he could survive. December 18th. Ceausescu's greatest miscalculation is almost elegant in its simplicity: blind faith in the secret police. The Securitate has crushed every whisper of dissent for 2 decades. They've infiltrated every neighborhood, every factory, every family. They know everything. They control everything. Why would this moment be different? The reports coming in are fragmented, contradictory. But Ceausescu filters them through the lens of invincibility. His inner circle tells him what he wants to hear. The situation is contained. Security apparatus still loyal. Military still loyal. Workers still loyal. Outside Bucharest, the uprising is spreading. Timișoara is burning. Protesters are in the streets across the country. But the information reaches him delayed, sanitized, incomplete. Each layer of bureaucracy between the street and the palace removes another piece of truth. He issues orders to the Securitate to suppress the unrest with overwhelming force. The orders are followed. But something has shifted in how they're followed. Officers begin to question. Soldiers begin to hesitate. The machinery of control is still functioning, but the men operating it are no longer certain they're on the winning side. Ceausescu doesn't see the hesitation. He sees only obedience. A general receives an order to fire on civilians. He carries it out. But there's a difference now, a reluctance that wasn't there before. The Securitate has always been loyal because loyalty meant survival. Now, for the first time, loyalty might mean the opposite. That night, Ceausescu reviews reports in his office. He speaks of overwhelming force restoring order by morning. Elena sits beside him, equally detached from reality. She speaks of the uprising as a minor irritation, a temporary disruption of the natural order. They retire believing tomorrow will be like yesterday. It won't be. But while Ceausescu sleeps, something is happening he can't control. The men he depends on are making calculations of their own. December 19th. Ceausescu's second miscalculation runs deeper than blind faith in security forces. It's a miscalculation about the very foundation of his power, the belief that workers remain loyal. For decades, he's built his regime on the mythology of the working class. The workers are his base. The workers love him. The workers will defend him. It's been the central narrative of his rule, the dictator as champion of labor, the communist state as the workers' paradise. The machinery of this mythology is well-oiled. The regime organizes rallies. Buses bring workers from factories across the country. They're given the day off. They're told to cheer. It's theater, but it's worked. The crowds have always been there. The chants have always come. The performance has always succeeded. This time, Ceausescu orders a massive rally in Bucharest for December 21st. He's convinced it will be like all the others. Thousands of workers will fill the square. They'll chant his name. They'll drown out the dissent with their voices. The spectacle will restore order. The crowd will remind the nation who's in control. The buses are sent. The orders are given. Workers are told to attend or face consequences. Show up or lose your job. Show up or be marked as disloyal. The coercive machinery is engaged. But something has changed in how people respond to orders. Some workers show up. Many don't. Those who do arrive are different from the crowds of previous years. They're not celebratory. They're not performing their roles with conviction. They're angry. They're scared. They've heard what's happening in other cities. They know the regime is fracturing. The regime's propaganda machine has run for so long that people have stopped believing it. The repetition has become white noise. The official narratives have worn thin. Workers have lived through decades of promises unfulfilled, shortages rationalized, freedoms restricted. The spectacle no longer works because people have learned to see through spectacle. Ceausescu still doesn't grasp this fundamental shift. He receives reports that the crowd will be smaller than expected. He dismisses them. Impossible. The people love me. The workers are loyal. This is temporary unrest. By tomorrow, normalcy will return. His advisors become visibly nervous. They try to explain the reality. The situation is deteriorating faster than anticipated. Perhaps we should consider other options. Perhaps we should negotiate. He overrides them. He insists on appearing at the balcony. His confidence is absolute, but it's no longer grounded in reality. It's the confidence of a man who has lived so long in a constructed world, a world where his speeches are always met with applause, where his decisions are always correct, where his power is always absolute, that he's forgotten the difference between performance and truth. Elena pushes him forward. She's even more detached than he is. She speaks of the rally as a formality, a necessary theater to restore order. She doesn't see the danger because she spent 24 years in a palace insulated from consequences. The decision to appear at the balcony on December 21st is made from a place of profound miscalculation. It's the decision that will be his last public act. He believes it will be a moment of restoration. It will be a moment of collapse. December 20th. Ceausescu's third miscalculation is geopolitical, and it's rooted in a fundamental misreading of the world around him. He believes the Soviet Union will intervene to preserve communist rule in Eastern Europe. This belief isn't irrational. It's rooted in history. Soviet tanks rolled into Hungary in 1956. Soviet tanks rolled into Czechoslovakia in 1968. The pattern is established. When communist regimes are threatened, Moscow acts. But the world has changed. Gorbachev has signaled a new approach. No more interventions. No more military solutions to preserve the old order. The Cold War is ending. The Soviet sphere is contracting. The signal is there for anyone paying attention. Diplomats know it. Analysts know it. Intelligence services across Europe have understood the shift. The Berlin Wall fell just weeks earlier. Poland is already moving toward democracy. Hungary is already moving toward democracy. The dominoes are falling in a new direction. Ceausescu doesn't accept the signal. He can't accept it. His entire worldview depends on Soviet power remaining constant, eternal, unchanging. He convinces himself that if the situation becomes dire, if he truly needs it, Moscow will step in. They have to. The alternative is unthinkable. It's a fatal miscalculation, but it's a human one. He's reading the past instead of the present. His isolation from reliable information means he doesn't understand that the geopolitical landscape has fundamentally shifted. The Cold War paradigm that shaped his entire rule is dissolving in real time. When advisors hint at the new international reality, he dismisses them. They're panicking. They're losing faith. They don't understand that the communist bloc is eternal. They don't understand that Soviet power is unchanging. A military officer suggests they consider negotiations with the opposition. Perhaps there's a way to preserve some form of continuity. Ceausescu refuses. The Soviets will support us. We'll weather this storm like we've weathered others. The officer doesn't argue further, but he stops believing. One by one, the people Ceausescu depends on are losing faith in the narrative he's constructed. The structure of power is still standing, but the foundation is hollow. By morning, Ceausescu knows the situation is critical. But even now, his miscalculation persists. He believes he can escape and reorganize from a position of military strength. He orders a helicopter. He plans to flee to a military barracks outside the city. From there, he'll rally forces and retake control. It's delusional, but it's the thinking of a man who has never experienced defeat. For 24 years, every crisis has been resolved by force. He tells Elena they'll be gone within hours. She packs. They prepare. The helicopter is waiting, but the pilot has made his own calculation. He will fly them out. He won't bring them back. Ceausescu boards believing he's escaping to safety. He's actually boarding the vehicle that will deliver him to his enemies. The helicopter lands. Ceausescu expects loyal officers, a functioning command structure. Instead, soldiers pull him from the cabin, rifles already drawn. The pilot steps aside. The regime is ending before he fully understands it's begun to fall. He doesn't resist at first. His mind is still working from the old map of power, where he controls everything, where betrayal is impossible. When they bind his hands, he tells them they're making a grave mistake. "Do you know who I am?" "Yes." "That's why you're under arrest." Elena screams. She tries to strike the soldiers. Her voice continues even after they force her into the truck beside him. The trial takes place in a small military building. It's rushed. The court is a panel of 3 officers with no patience for performance. Ceausescu refuses to recognize their authority. This is a farce. I am the president. You have no legal standing. The lead officer stares without expression. The authority comes from the people. The verdict is unanimous. Guilty of crimes against the state and crimes against humanity. Elena weeps. Ceausescu remains defiant through the reading of the sentence. They're driven to a courtyard behind the building. It's overcast. Gray. A wall of rough brick. An officer reads the death sentence. Ceausescu is offered last words. He refuses to speak. Elena clutches his arm. The firing squad takes position. 12 soldiers. Rifles raised. It's over in seconds. When the sound ends, there is only silence. No speeches. No ceremony. No final performance. Just a wall and bodies on concrete. Ceausescu controlled every image for a generation. When that control broke, it broke completely. Today's tools are more sophisticated, but the vulnerability remains. When people stop believing the official story, no propaganda restores it.